Now this is a nice row of onions, even if I do say so myself. You'll notice that the onions are spaced 12 inches apart, 12 inches this way as well as 12 inches this way. And you find that's actually quite a common spacing when you're doing your garden plants. Give it 12 inches between the different plants and stuff. Now to get this nice even spacing, as you can see my garden has, you may think, well, you could do it using a measuring tape or something like that. That's the hard way. Here's what I do. I actually will go and I will build a jig like this. And you can see on the jig, I've actually just screwed in some little pieces of wood, and this wood is 12 inches from each other this way, 12 inches from this way. I'll run a guide wire down the row and I will line it up with this, and then I will just simply press it into the soil. That leaves marks on the ground 12 inches apart, and therefore I know where to plant my onions. And it keeps everything nice in an orderly row. Especially nice about onions having this space is onions are very affected by weed competition. So it's very important to keep it weeded. If they're growing too close together, it makes it even that much more difficult to weed. So the nice spacing, I can get in here with my hoe and keep it pretty clean. You've heard me comment before that I use an electric fence. Electric fence mainly because our neighborhoods have a lot of woods. In Georgia, actually, we have a deer problem, a severe deer problem, in fact, an epidemic deer problem. The electric fence is a very non-lethal way just to keep deer and raccoons and possums and all the other critters that would get in here and dig up my garden out. Very safe. I've actually touched the fence. The fence is not on right now, but I've actually touched it. You know, it's just a little shock, just enough to make you jump. Know you touched something. Now, this is actually the third electric fence I've gone through. Last two years, I've lost both to lightning. This time, when I bought this electric fence, I noticed it suggested getting a lightning arrestor, which is in fact what I have here. So this little object here is basically attached to the top line of my electric fence, and then it goes to a separate ground than the electric fence is. Here's the electric fence, here's its ground. Here's the lightning arrestor, here is its ground. So when lightning strikes, if lightning strikes and hits the wire, lightning is going to try to find the closest ground it can. Hopefully it will go through this and find this ground before it goes through this and finds this ground. When it does, if it did go through this, like my other two, I would come out here and this would just be laying in the ground, all falling apart where it's just been struck. Here in Georgia, it is hot. Very, very hot. Hot and dry. Dry because we don't get a lot of rain during the summer. In fact, last year we had a very severe drought. With the drought came watering restrictions. So watering restrictions, one of the first things to go is outside watering. We can water right now. We've actually had a lot of rain this year. We can still only water 3 times a week. Fortunately, my garden has a lot of organic matter. It doesn't need as much as a typical garden. But one thing we do is actually harvest our air conditioning water. In fact, these are 5-gallon buckets we set out. And this bucket was actually empty last night, and now it's full. Not last night, yesterday. And now it's full from all of yesterday. So I'll actually just simply take this bucket of water, move it out of the way, and replace it with an empty bucket. Simple as that. Now tomorrow I'll have another 5 gallons that I can pour my water, or pour my garden. Now, nice thing about air conditioned water, I've done some little research on this, and in fact the water is supposedly very, very pure. In fact, they say it's pure enough to drink. I would not drink it, however I will let my vegetables drink it.